I am 30 years old. Can you believe that? I can't. It snuck up on me pretty quick. Man, I thought things would be so different by now, honestly. I mean, I consider myself a total loser, right? Compared to the expectations that I had, of course. Um, but I learned a lot of stuff throughout my 20s, and I would like to share that today. In case you're a young man in your 20s, with existential dread, worried about the future and all that kind of stuff. I think the biggest lesson that I took away was that the 20s are like a tutorial. Like, it's okay not to know anything because, of course, I don't know anything because I'm new to the world and I don't know how anything works. I'm pretty naive, pretty gullible. I have all kinds of beliefs that probably aren't true and a lot of expectations of myself that I didn't even give to myself that I inherited from other people. Things I'm supposed to do. Um, so the greatest kind of freedom that I've experienced after turning 30 is to recognize the things that I like and the things that I don't like. And so the way I learned that was by trying all kinds of different stuff while in my 20s. And I think that's my my proudest thing out of coming out of my 20s is that I tried a lot of different things. I was a truck driver, I did YouTube, and I did coffee, and I really went in. I mean, I tried a bunch of other stuff, but these three things I really went all in to making videos, which I always enjoyed doing since I was a teenager. Truck driving, which I never thought I would do. That was totally out of left field. And coffee was kind of out of left field too. My brother Max introduced me to specialty coffee, and then from there we started a coffee roasting business. And that was a really proud moment, man. I was like 24 or something, and we had a warehouse and everything. We were doing it for real, and it was scary. And I'm proud that we took that risk. And it didn't work out. Like I failed, you could say, in all three of these categories. My YouTube channel went down. My trucking career's over, and the coffee business didn't pan out. But I used to feel really bad about these things inside, because I failed. But once I hit 30, I realized, oh, well, those were just tutorials. That wasn't even real. That didn't even count. I only now do I feel like I'm actually starting my life right now at 30. Can you imagine that? If you would have asked me at 20, when am I going to get the feeling that I'm starting my life? I would never say 20 or 30. I'd be like, well, I'm already started. But little did I know that none of that stuff mattered. Nothing that I did in my 20s matters except for it gave me experience. But in the grand scheme of things, here's the great news. I don't think anybody cared that I failed. I don't think anybody cared at all. I was the one that cared the most. you know? But like older people, they know that you don't know anything in your 20s. They don't have any expectations. Nobody has any expectations of someone who's in their 20. It's a miracle if you do something and it works out. It's like, wow. If you're like in your early 20s and you're anxious about like becoming something and being worth a damn, and I would say just relax and kind of lower your expectations for yourself, because of course you don't know anything. Of course you suck at everything. It would be impossible. It would be a miracle if you were to all of a sudden know how to do everything and just be incredible at everything. I think everybody would worship you at that point. And another thing that comes to mind is I've kind of stepped into this self-confidence. It's totally arrogant and ridiculous. But it seems like no matter what, I'm never wrong. Even though I know that's not true, but the confidence doesn't go away. Oh, that came out wrong. What I mean is, even when I'm wrong, my self-confidence doesn't go down, which was an issue before. Like, when I'm wrong, oh man, I'm a wrong person. Um, but there's some kind of confidence that just is there now all the time. Even when things aren't going great, the confidence is still there because it's like I feel like I earned it. I feel like I have a little bit of experience under my belt, and I'm not just a wide-eyed dummy. I'm a little bit of a wide-eyed dummy. I'm not 40. I'm sure when I look back on this video and I'm 40, I'm going to be like, kid didn't know anything. Certainly, but not like I was when I was 20. Totally different. Totally different. There's some kind of a confidence, and so that's something to look forward to if you're in your 20s. Definitely stick it out. Don't stop the life. Don't check out. That sounds dark, but I had a lot of those kind of thoughts because it's really hard. It seems like the whole world is against you when you're in your 20s. And sometimes you just want to check out, And as long as you just stick it through, I've discovered a certain kind of confidence within me that even when everything is going bad, I think over the years I've convinced my psyche that I'm competent and I'm capable. And so there's less anxiety now. Even though I failed, but when I did those things, I did them well. And I only failed due to my ignorance and lack of knowledge. And I can forgive myself for that. That's just lack of experience. But what I'm proud of is that I went all in and I tried a bunch of different kind of stuff, and I found some part of myself. I haven't found my whole identity. That's a lifelong adventure, I would assume. I would hope. But at the very least, I discovered some part of myself, some aspects, some things that I like and things that I don't like, and that's helping me orient the next decade of my life. Now I know what I want to do, at least for the next few years. I know for sure, because of the things that I failed at and succeeded at. I know for sure what I don't want. Oh boy, do I know that. And I definitely know what I want. So it's like a gift that you get for your birthday. Maybe not exactly on that day, but somewhere in there. Yeah, it's a gift that I received from my own brain. Gave me that gift, gave me some kind of confidence, and it gave me an orientation of where I want to go and what I want to do. And I don't believe I could have gotten that just from watching a YouTube video. I think I needed to have lived through what I lived through. So yeah, there's nothing to replace experience. You can't. There's nothing. There's no videos. There's no explanation from anybody. You just have to keep going. Just try stuff, and don't worry about it. Don't worry about what people think and say, because nobody knows anything anyway. And just try as many different things as you can, and then start at 30. But I know that if somebody told me this, I wouldn't have listened. I would have still been like, no. I'm gonna succeed tomorrow and today, and that's good. That's good to have that. But in case you don't succeed, don't beat yourself up. Biggest lesson is that it's a tutorial. It doesn't count. You can relax and try all kinds of different things, and you can fail 1,000 times, and everybody will expect that. Can you hear the coyotes? I forgot to close the window. Everybody will expect you to be total dumbass. Dumbass! You get a pass from the universe, from society, to be a total dumbass. Dumbass. When you're in your 20s. And you will never have that pass again. Because right now, I can't make those same mistakes. People are going to lock me up in an insane asylum if I start doing the same things, Because now there's expectations a little higher, Now I'm expected to have some monicum of wisdom, a little tiny droplet. So yeah, that's a great thing. It's a great privilege to be in your 20s because you can just be a dumbass. Dumbass! And you're allowed that grace by everybody, And everybody's jealous, by the way. They won't tell you that, but they're jealous. The older people are so jealous. They would kill to be in their 20s. Everybody would kill to be in their 20s because of this free pass that you get to just experiment with everything, and nobody expects anything out of you. Dumbass! It's fantastic. So, yeah, just have a good time. Don't worry about it. Number 1, don't worry about it. Number 2, don't worry about it. Number 3, don't worry about it. And that's it. And I would hope that this same advice would apply to the next 10 years. This is don't worry about it. I'm sorry if this was too preachy, but this is part of the 30s. Now that I'm 30, I get to give unsolicited advice to people. That's part of the prestige of heading into the next decade is you get to look back and you get to go, listen, children, let me tell you something. So, this is that video. Cheers.
You don't have bad luck. The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.